Well, hello everyone. Happy week 7. I look like a wild woman today, and once again, my computer it picks up weird skin tones depending on where I move. So sometimes you see me and I look blue and ghoulish, and other times I look as pink as always. Anyways, I hope you are all well. I'm going to make this video very short. I think this week's lesson is quite self-explanatory. It's something that I've already been talking to you about before in other videos. And the first thing that I wanted to bring up is in our week 7 learning outcomes, it says examine and engage in an ethical concerns discussion of equal access to assistive technology for students with special needs, English language learners, and near or below the poverty level. And I've spoken to you about this before with technology and now specifically with assistive technology. We have a responsibility to our students to make sure that everything that we do with them is equitable. And for students that are near poverty level, when we're doing things with technology or assistive technology or flipped classroom or any lessons that have to do with internet access, computers, doing something on a phone, we have to make sure that our students are all able to have access to whatever we are going to do. We are legally required to make sure that they have equal access to anything. And of course, with all of the steps that are put in place for our special needs students and also with our English language learners, assistive technology is offered through the district and should be supplied. And we have a legal responsibility to make sure that any child can get an education and get what they need to be able to get an education. At our school and in our district, our English language learners, the parents and the students are given computers to work with over the course of the year. Our students that need assistive technology have assistive technology, and everything's in place for them to be able to use it in the classroom. And so we just have to make sure that we are looking through IEPs, we are talking to the ELL leads, we are making sure that each student in our classroom has what they need to be able to get the education that they have a right to have. And so, I love using technology. I use technology a lot, but I also know that I have to find ways to make it available to all of my students. So just keep that in mind. We've talked about it before, but I'm bringing it up again. The second thing that I want to bring up is collaboration fluency, because we are seeing more and more of that in the world today, and not just related to assistive technology. Collaboration fluency in work, where you're having meetings worldwide with people that are not in the room. It started out when we first had collaboration that way, that it was like these phone calls, these group phone calls where everybody signs on, and people still do that. But I'm saying that we actually have, meetings where people are face to face through whatever program they're choosing to use to collaborate as a group and work together. And many of you know that we have satellite offices all over the place now. My nephew, who is one of the Silicon Valley people, he was just in France creating a whole new system for them. So we were collaborating related to technology and application and finances. And so they were doing a collaboration between California and between where he was located in Paris. My husband, he works from home. He collaborates through technology, of course. And what you need to remember is that for students that need assistive technology and have assistive technology, those things can make it easier for them to collaborate through the written word by using assistive technology, through audio through assistive technology. So you want to take those things into consideration. I love the video in this lesson of the children signing to the word, the song Roar. My niece actually is a teacher at a very well-known school for the deaf in California. one of the top schools. And she's shown me so many interesting things with assistive technology. And I always love to tell her back in the day when we were running with all the bands and stuff in the 80s, there was a young man who was deaf who used to come to the heavy metal concerts and the punk rock concerts. And I became friends with him. I couldn't sign a lot, but I could sign a little. And I used to always love to see him at the concerts. And all of the bands knew he was, and he always sat close to the stage and on top of the speakers. And somebody had said to me, one time, well, he's deaf, why is he here? And I was like, seriously? And he would often talk about, in his way of talking to me and to others about how he could feel the vibrations of the music through the speakers and by sitting next to the stage and putting his hands on the stage. And that was how he knew that he loved the music. He loved the vibrations of the music. And I always thought that was so beautiful. And then years later, they made a movie called Mr. Holland's Opus, and we see his son do the same thing. And that movie is a good example of somebody taking the time to learn more about assistive technology and collaboration and bringing someone in. And you just want to make sure that nobody is isolated from a situation or that their disability becomes a hindrance in them being able to have fluent communication and collaboration with other people. So this week, I just want you to focus on being aware of what's going on around you at your school and how assistive technology is helping students to collaborate fluently with each other, and whether that's in special education, whether that's English language learner, whether that's in regular classroom setting, you just want to be aware of those types of things. Okay, let me see. Is there anything else that I want to talk to you about? Remember, you should be finishing up on your e-portfolio. I updated all grades, so everything should be good there. If you see anything funky, let me know. You have 2 DB questions this week that you're answering. And I've asked you specifically about early communication and emergent literacy and collaboration fluency. And I think that's about it. Like I said, I don't want to take too much of your time tonight. I know that you have a lot to do, and I'm already at 7.5 minutes. So I wish you all well, and I will talk to you soon. And if you need me, you know how to get hold of me. And just, finishing up all the loose ends before we go into week 8, because here it comes. All right. I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful work week.